Alright everyone, time for the TCC Xtreme challenge for this cast stage. And we have a really small ban list, which was kind of nice of them to do. Have a little bit more fun with some of the people who are always banned, obviously except Amidatelion. And the Xtreme challenge is, besides no friends and very limited summons, to have no healers, no healing at all. Even if you're at full HP, you can't heal. So, no Elden Arch. Or if you do bring him, you just can't face shift. So, no Elden Arch. Which is also why you will see me not use Ascension a single time with Arciela, or her EX a single time. I tried doing this with a lot of 3 and 4 and 5 ingot teams, and well, mostly just 3 and 4, because I don't have a lot of people with only 2 ingots. And it just wasn't enough damage. I got really close with, who was it? It was Vaughn, Arciela, and Aphmau. Would have been nice to use Aphmau for this one, but Arciela was just so good. Even with her handicap, she's still so good that I couldn't really... I mean, maybe it's possible with Aphmau, but this team slows them down so much, speeds themselves up so much, and with Arciela's HP silence, it worked out the best. But yeah, I almost did this with Van, Aphmau, and Arciela. It just ran into like 102 or 3 turns, so it didn't quite get it. Van's blind was really nice, I will say, for those HP attacks. And maybe I could have redone it and cut it down to like 99 or 100 turns, but that's no fun. I'd rather find an effective team if I'm able to. So, would have been a really nice launch to get after the reincarnation, as I could have done the full amount of damage in launch, but hey, it worked out. And we'll need to reapply the wind damage down, or the wind damage in peril. I almost got this done as well with a team of who was it? It was Quistis, Arciela again, and Garland. And they did quite well. That's a lot of slow, and Garland's knockback is kind of handy, especially in his first wave, I will say. But they didn't do enough damage. Which is interesting because Garland hits very hard, but he, outside of the ZX, he doesn't really, he can't do more than 99,000 damage. So he's a bit of an enigma in that. Xdeath kind of has a similar problem, like, when was the last time, outside of, say, his EX, you did more than 99,000 damage with Xdeath, as opposed to, well, Quistis can also do it with her EX, which is up way more often, so it's not as big of a problem with Quistis. And Fujin can, quite frankly, do it with her 2 skills, because they splash, or they hit multiple targets, and obviously her EX will also do it because it's a launch. So yeah, like, Xdeath, Garland, they're good, but they're just a little weird because they don't do that much damage. Like, they're great for Brave Shading, but with their lack of splash, yes, Garland has it on his LD, his Binds of Chaos, or Chains of Chaos, whatever it was. But you only get so many uses of that. And yes, his EX has multiple HP dumps, but it's not up that often. So yeah, that's my big problem with those two. It's like, what they do is fun, but they just don't do enough damage. Text messages, okay. Should be doing, yeah. we'll do the Brave attack to apply the speed down and max Brave down debuff. Good to do at the beginning of the wave, especially because we just reapplied a Dissension to Arciela, and so we don't want to have to waste that skill as it comes in limited uses, and the HP silence is absolutely amazing for this challenge, due to the fact that we don't want to take HP attacks. I think speed down is very, very useful for this challenge, because, well, and speed up. I think speed manipulation is very, very useful, because it allows you to control the battle a lot more, and allows you to get a lot of those turns in before the enemy gets those battering themselves and HP attacks off, which they all do. We enter a little bit below the par of 33 turns for this wave, but this team's designed a little more around splash damage, and the first wave was only a single target, so this team was a little bit handicapped at that. Look at all that speed down and speed up manipulation. Look at that turn order. It's so good for Fujin because you can set up those good launches. This is just a good team overall, I would say, just in general. They can get a little, I think it's 7 debuffs between the three of them because of Arciela's HP silence. But yeah, just like for regular outside of TCC challenges, this is a good team that synergizes well. Didn't want to use one of Fujin's skills, and she didn't have enough Brave to do an HP plus. It's really nice when the enemy is launchable and Quistis has her EX up, because she will hit the target really hard for it and immediately battery everybody else for that fantastic launch. But alas, we're not going to get Quistis in a good spot, so oh well. Just have to make the best of it. Sometimes that's what you have to do. And Arciela got 2 turns in a row for whatever reason. Yeah, it's funny, she outspeeds everybody by a little bit, so that'll happen sometimes. I'm conserving Fujin's skills again. I know she'll need to apply the Wind Imperil to Behemoth B as soon as it buffs itself, so I'm probably saving her skills for that. It's like, well, I guess I'll HP attack again. Luckily Fujin has an amazing HP attack. Batteries the 2 allies by 60% of the damage done. Compare that to Edward's, who batteries are his allies by like 30% of the damage done. Time to reapply those debuffs to B. And this will reapply those debuffs to B. Or should we wait for A to buff itself and knock its Wind and Peril and stuff like that off? Yeah, I say we do it. Although Fujin has a lot of Brave that could get refunded to her allies, but yeah, we're gonna knock off some of those buffs off B, because B could be HP attacking here with Meteor, and that would be very painful, especially with all that Brave. So we're going to use Dissension to apply HP silence on B, and unfortunately this is not a great launch, so we're going to reapply the speed up to everyone and hopefully move Fujin up into a better position to launch. And now A, we have to reapply those speed debuffs, and then B surprised me with a lightning lash instead of Meteor. I have to be careful and make sure Fujin and Quistis don't knock the HP silence off of B, because again, the team has 7 debuffs between them all. That was as good of a launch as we're going to get. Should be attacking A here. I'm betting A is going to Lightning Lash. Yep. Which won't knock Quistis back, but it will give Quistis 2 turns in a row, which is always kind of silly. We should homing whip A. I mean, it would be nice to save it for that launch for B. Oh, yep, that's what we're going to do. That was definitely the right move to make, because she already had so much Brave. And B got knocked back when B got broken, and then moved right back. And we know now that B is going to use Meteor. See, that's why Quistis does well with Fujin. And so we just have to make sure B doesn't get a turn to do that. This would be probably another Brave attack or a skill. Yeah, it's Brave attack. Save the skills up. So I think we should Darkest Hour A here. Yep. And then Quistis should degenerate her with B, so B doesn't get to use Meteor. And then we're kind of hoping A isn't going to use Meteor either. We're hoping for a Lightning Lash, which we got, which is fantastic. And now we should be able to finish off B before B gets a turn. I'm counting on the splash damage here, killing B, which it doesn't, unfortunately. But I'm trying to be a little more efficient here with the HP damage, because we are past 66 turns now, which is kind of where we want it to be. Going into the 3rd round. Not too far past. And that was a reset, folks. I've forgotten how often they use the attack all Brave and HP attack. So we're going to have to be a little more careful this time around. The EX is almost up. Not enough. Yeah, that's probably the right move. Not enough Brave for good HP plus. I don't want to debuff them because they're going to knock those debuffs right back off as soon as A gets a turn right here. And now Fujin is in a great place to launch, but got knocked out of it. Whatever. If that would have knocked B back, then it could have gotten Quistis into this launch. But they break out of order. That happens a lot during this round, kind of stinks. But we're knocking their buffs off, so at least there's that. You break me, break you right back. Alright, so they're both set to all. Ooh, this is a nice launch. They're both set to all, and one of them is going to Brave and HP attack. So with Arciela, we're going to have to use Dissension, or risk losing this battle. I mean, I could probably keep everybody batteried and just eat it, but I'm betting that I'll be able to take them out before B gets that Brave and HP attack off. I think it's B. It might be A. We'll find out in a second. Actually, A. Didn't A buff everyone? So it might be A. Usually it's the one that buffs everyone. Here, I'm trying to figure out which skill to use. Can't use HP attacks. Yep, it's A. So we're going to have to keep A back. Yeah, I want to make sure HP silence is still in there. We're going to have to prevent A from taking any more turns until the end of this fight is the plan. We used Laser Lash there, which knocked off A's speed down and applied turn rate down. So just a little bit of debuff management we have to do with these guys. That's a decent HP attack. I don't think Fujin's EX will be up next turn. I don't. But we'll find out. HP Silence has worn off of A, so now I can debuff as necessary. I'll probably reapply it here. Nope. Oh, that's right, Arciela will get another turn before A gets another turn, so that's okay. And another really nice HP attack, especially because her skills won't move her up any. And A is already down to half HP, so the idea of not giving A any more turns until the battle is over is certainly not out of the question. Although I gotta watch that turn count. That turn count is getting really close. Have to keep it under 100. But this will reapply HP silence to A as we bring B down. Not the best of launches. Probably could have used Fujin C65 to get Quistis in there, or summon. That would have been a great summon, actually. But A still launchable, so at least there's that. I don't think I actually used Fujin C65 in this at all. It's too conservative with Fujin's C65. And now they're both at half HP. Oh, this is a great... Yeah, so even here, like... I think, had I used Fujin C65 back then, Arciela might be in this launch. Blarg. Oh well. Let's see. I should probably use a skill here. Get that EX charging up. And ready for when we do summon. Yeah. That's what we do. Fujin's gonna get broken when B takes their turn, but we don't care. And that's going to give B a lot of Brave. That could have been worse, I guess. Quistis does apply attack to him. Make sure that HP silence is still on A. Breaking B here will break them out of order, but I don't want to laser whip A, because that will knock HP silence off. And I don't want to not use a skill because her Brave is so low. And we're coming close to the turn count, so I don't want a Brave attack either. HP silence has now successfully worn off of A. I can apply it again, but I also want to degenerator whip A. I can also use that to delay A from taking their turn. And I believe I still have Quistis' C65 to give her an extra use of it. And ooh, Homing Whip is up. This is a great time to summon, probably, as I don't want B to take the turn and then knock all of the debuffs off of A. And at this point, I can't HP silence A because B will take their turn first and knock it off. Oh no, wait, no. Arciela's right there. That's funny. This is a pretty darn good use of Fujin's EX right here. Would have been nice to still have Quistis' EX to launch A, but oh well. Little brain moves. A degenerator whip on A should still battery everyone. So still a good launch there. And they're basically done here. I just have to figure out the best way to do this. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use Psy because I know A will die with only 3000 HP damage. And that does it. So, fun team. Lots of speed down. A little bit of speed up too. Lots of launches, lots of battery. Good combination. And let's check out the artifacts. No spheres for Quistis, and pretty meh artifacts. Don't look at my meh artifacts for Quistis. Fujin has good artifacts, as usual. And Fujin has Fujin's Sphere. Arciela has amazing artifacts, still happy with them. And Arciela has Van's and Alpnaut's Sphere.